Sorry. All right, so we're in Matthew 13, 20 through 21, talking about the seed that falls on the rocky soil, representing those who hear the message and immediately receive it with joy, but because they don't have deep roots, they don't last long. And when we talk about the picture of a potted plant, pretend like you see a potted plant right here. It looks alive. I've got one in my office. I should have brought it down. It looks alive. It looks like it has soil in it. All right? It might have a little growth. Mine does. It's got a little bit of growth there. But it's limited. Why is it limited? It can't go any further than the pot it's in. And so it's not connected to a water source, is it? There's no water flowing underneath the ground from an underground spring or a rain that happened a few weeks ago that can get to it. It's absolutely cut off from water. It's cut off. No water can get to it. It can be easily tipped over. Something tips over, it can fall on the floor. It's in a pot. It's convenient. It's movable. It's easy to isolate. Some of you are trying to live this new Christian life in a pot. And what I mean by that is you're in the program, but you're not planted in it. You're not planted in it. And you're near leadership, but you're not covered by it. You look planted, but you're shallow. You're portable. And you run when it gets hard. But God is saying, get out of the pot and get into the ground. Because as long as you stay in that pot, you can be tipped over. You can be easily just spilled out. You could be you're cut off from water. You see that comparison there? How it's important that we get out of the pot and get planted. I want to give you an example of this. Scripture in Matthew talks about shallow roots versus deep roots. So I want to kind of give you a comparison there. What is a shallow root versus a deep root? What does that look like? Well, a shallow root is emotionally driven. Yay, Jesus, until life gets hard. A shallow root is emotionally driven. It's this, yay, I love Jesus. And then life gets hard and you see a totally different person. You're like, whoa, what happened to her? Where's the yay Jesus at? So a deep root it's spiritually grounded and I still choose Jesus even when it's hard. I still choose Jesus even when it's hard. That's a difference. Any questions on that? All right, another example of a shallow root versus a deep root is a shallow root is easily offended or discouraged by correction. That's a shallow root. Easily offended or even easily discouraged by correction. A deep root welcomes correction and it learns from correction. Shallow roots bounce from leader to leader. It's a shallow root, leader to leader to leader. But a deep root stays submitted to God-given leadership, no matter who it is, no matter where it is.
What are those sharp angles?
I'm not sure.
In geometry and calculus and all that, angles is obtuse one.
Okay.
That'd be the deep one.
Oh.
And what's the sharp one?
I don't. Acute.
Acute, yes.
That is good.
Well, I remember stuff. No.
Awesome. So that's good. A shallow root doesn't last through testing. When testing comes, does not do well. Does not do well. But a deep root grows stronger through that testing. They stay rooted. They're going through that test. It's hard. It doesn't look easy, right? It's hard. Not saying you're like breezing through it, but you make it. You make it out on the other side stronger. That's a deep root. A shallow root hides struggles from leaders. Just hides them. But a deep root confesses struggles and invites help. Confesses struggles and invites help. I had a staff member come in my office the other day and say, I'm struggling spiritually. I'm struggling in my prayer life. I'm struggling with my devotion to the Lord. That's a deep root. That shows me a deep root. Instead of hiding that, just saying, and guess what I got to tell her? I said, the same frustration you're feeling, I feel. She feels. And like relief covered her. She was like, really? Of course. We're human. We're all attached to flesh. We're all struggling with our relationship with God. Like, I want to go deeper. I want to go more. I want to love Him better. I want to serve Him more. It's always a struggle. And guess what it is? It's proof of our love for Him. Because if we didn't love Him, we wouldn't care one bit about it. And I also told her that. And she walked away encouraged. She's rooted. A shallow root is controlled by their feelings. There you go. Easily offended and controlled by your feelings is the same. It's very similar. And both of those are on the shallow root side. But the deep root side of being controlled by your feelings is you're anchored in truth. So whether those feelings try to come and take you wherever, you're still rooted in truth. Your feelings are going to come and go. So many people make life-changing decisions based off their feelings. Right? If you've ever had a menstrual cycle, you know what that means. Okay? I always used to joke and say whenever I was younger that I would make a life-changing decision on, my cycle because my brain was just out here in left field. And then a few days later, I'd be like, whoa, I'm glad I didn't act on that,
I think my son was, I don't know before. I had a watch, my favorite watch in the whole world, and I fixed it. I took it to my watch made
goodness. Yeah. So we got to get rooted. And so I want you to ask yourself, am I rooted deep or am I just planted in a pot? Let that be your question this week. Am I rooted deep or am I just in a pot? And so why do you need to be rooted under a covering? How does this even tie in together? Because spiritual covering equals protection. It equals direction, accountability, and correction. God placed you in this house under these leaders for your protection and growth. Psalm 92:13 says, planted in the house of the Lord, they will flourish. Planted in the house of the Lord, they will flourish. A potted plant may survive for a little while on its own, but it's never going to flourish like a tree that's rooted deep in the ground. It never will. It will never. When a tree is in the ground, it can have water, it can withstand storms, it can bear fruit. It's strong enough to actually hold fruit on its branches. But if you put a fruit tree and a potted plant, it's not going to ever grow big enough to actually bear fruit. Because there's nowhere for the roots to get deep. And the roots have to be deep in order to hold that fruit up. So you're not going to bear fruit unless you get rooted. Get rooted. And so let's talk about this rocky soil that Matthew's telling us about. Jesus is telling us about in Matthew. Write this down. Rocky soil equals root blockers. Rocky soil equals root blockers. Root blockers. What I mean by that is sometimes it looks like someone is in the ground, but they're not rooted because the soil underneath them is rocky. That's a reason that you're not rooted. So some of you are sitting here and thinking, man, I was on that shallow root. Why? Well, maybe, just maybe, some of that ground is rocky. So how do we identify what are the rocks blocking your roots? Well, a big one is pride. Think of pride like a rock in there. This pride basically says, I don't want help, I just have to be here. That's a pride rock. I don't really want help. Another rock under there can be fear. Just simply fear. Like, what if I open up and they reject me? What if I give it my all and I end up disappointed again? I can't handle that. Rebellion's another rock. I don't want anyone telling me what to do. I don't think anybody likes that, you know? Shame. I've messed up too much to ask for help now. I've messed up too much to ask for help now. Are you letting those rocks stay under you? Or are you letting God dig them out? Let Him dig them out. How do you get rooted? Well, you submit fully to the process. We say it all the time. Trust the process. Just trust it. Submit fully to the process. Don't try to have one foot in the door and one foot out of the door. Say, I'm here and I'm all in. I'm all in. Get that foot out of the door and just get all in. You can't have one and one the other. Just submit fully to the process. Submit fully to the process. Submission, I think about Pastor Josh, he put this thing on his toy, his side-by-side, and it's like a, what is it called? Some kind of muffler thing. Anyway, so the muffler is loud now, really loud, and it's right behind your head when you're in it. So it's like right here. And whenever we were first riding, he couldn't handle the noise. He was stuffing toilet paper in his ears, and he was like, it was loud, and it was really loud. And we've rode several times since then. The other day he said, man, it's just so loud. We were just talking about it. He said, man, it's just so loud. And he said, does it not bother you? And I said, well, I kind of just submitted to it immediately. And it don't bother me. I'm just used to it. I've just submitted to the sound. And see, what he did was rejecting it. Just rejecting the sound. Oh my gosh, it's bad. I can't do it. Give me some toilet paper. I need earplugs. This is very bad. And so there's a difference in, I think some of us do that in the program. It's just too hard. I hate this, these zeros. Ugh, I can't stand it. Just give me some toilet paper for my ears. When some people just submit to it. Just submit to the sound. And then it's not as bad. And you're not like stressing yourself out. You're just in it. And you get used to it. And it's better for you. And so there's a difference in that submitting to the process, really just submitting to the process. Stop fighting it. You're causing yourself more anxiety. Just submit. Trust the process, trust the Lord. Another way to get rooted is stay accountable to your leaders. Let them speak life into you. And don't run or hide from them when correction comes. Third thing to do is stop hiding your roots. If something's rotten under there, expose it. That's how you get healed. Just expose it. Dig deep into the Word and prayer. Dig deep. This is how you get rooted. You dig deep. Right? Makes sense. It's the only way to get down there. Dig into the Word. Dig into prayer. Get deep in it. It's going to drive those roots in the ground. And the fifth thing is be consistent, especially when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Go read Romans 12:12 later.
All I can think about is when we were doing all the landscaping out here, and those two trees we planted by the construction's office.
Okay.
We kept digging. I was like, "There's only rock there," and I was like, "Well, how do you know?" So we dug all that stuff out. It's like pulling all that pride, pulling all that stuff out, and then we put the soil in there, and then you put the topsoil on top to cover it, like the spiritual cover. So you put some soil in there so it
Wow.
could take root, and you covered it with the topsoil. Yeah, that was cool. That's what I just
That's cool. That's cool.
What was after dig deep?
Dig deep in the Word and in prayer. And then the last thing is be consistent. Be consistent, especially when it gets hard.
Thank you.
Stay consistent because real roots grow in pressure. Remember that. Real roots grow in pressure. They don't pull up and replant every time the soil gets uncomfortable. So a lot of times if the soil's uncomfortable, let's transplant it real quick. Let's just dig it up, move somewhere else. Just stay in the ground. Be consistent. When it gets hard, trust the process. And so think about two trees. They're exactly the same. And think about a storm, like they look exactly the same. And a storm hits both of them. One of those trees under the ground was shallow rooted, and one of the trees was very deep. What happened was the deep roots stand strong in a storm. But what happens to the one that's shallow rooted?
I actually, when I lived in a house as a teenager, my family and I saw we saw a tree in our backyard, like in the neighbor's backyard, get hit by lightning, and it literally cut this tree in half. But the big tree stayed alive. They had just recently planted a small tree about 3 yards away, and that tree literally shot out of the ground and flew across the yard. Because that one tree got struck by lightning, and the pressure of the current shot the tree out of the ground because it was not deeply rooted. It literally flung it across the yard.
Wow.
But that big tree, even though it's cracked in half, stayed alive.
Wow. That shows the influence of somebody else. The only reason that little tree flew up, besides its shallow roots, is because somebody else impacted it.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you're shallow rooted, you can be taken out by somebody else. Wow. It's good. God's trying to plant you. Remember that. He's trying to plant you. It's all in the Word. He calls us oaks of righteousness. He wants us to be planted, strong, deep-rooted. What pot have you been staying in? What rocks need dug out? Are you truly under covering or are you just near it? Because your transformation happens when you shift from simply surviving the program to truly embracing the process. Embracing the process is being rooted. So how do you make it through? How do you make it through the program and really be changed? Surely you're not here just wasting your time, right? I mean, I would hope that you've got enough character about you to care enough about yourself not to just be here, just to be here. You're here with a purpose, I hope. And that purpose is to be totally transformed. Okay, that's what I hope you're here for. I don't know anybody who could just do this, just to do this. That would be strange. But some people do. But I would hope that every one of you, in your mind, you're like, I know why I'm here and I want to be a new person. I want to be transformed. I can't be who I used to be. And so how do you go through the program and actually be changed? All in. Yeah. Don't just survive. Don't just survive, be transformed. Don't just survive, be transformed. You're not here just to make it through all this. Sometimes when people get into leadership and they're close to graduation, they'll start saying, well, I only have 30 days left and I'm out. Or, oh, I only got 3 months. I'm out of here. And it's like, why are you here? Why are you here? That's strange. Like if you're here to be transformed, why are you like in a hurry to leave? To me, that shows shallow roots. It's concerning. So I want to help you. I want to help you navigate through this. What are some practical steps for you? Well, I really thought about this. What are some practical steps? We've had a few things come up this week, and I thought let's Let's talk about those things. The first practical step I want you to write down is start with gratitude, not a wish list. Start with gratitude, not a wish list. A lot of times we come into the program and we come in and we start writing home to our family and we write a list this long. I need all these things. And if you count those items, you probably have about 53. Okay? I'm just kidding. But, I mean, probably so. I mean, I need this kind of this. I need this kind of shampoo, this kind of conditioner. I need this kind of stuff. I need that. I need this. I need this. I need socks. I need pajamas. I need underwear. This kind of underwear. I need this. You've got a list this long, sending it to your family.
And like 2 sentences about I'm good.
Right. Just a few sentences of
How it's going.
right? I'll tell you more in person. Yeah. Can't write this in a letter. All the time. Oh, yeah. Anyways. So you start this journey, ladies, by acknowledging what others have poured into you. Do you know what the lifestyle you chose took from your family? Not just money for lawyers or bonding you out or gas money. Not just all that, but you took sleep from them. And when people lose sleep, they lose years on their lives. So not only did you take money, you take sleep, but you also took years off their lives because of the worry. All right? Now listen, is it so ironic that you come in a program to change that behavior just to start it all over again? Give me this, 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 give me this. Have you not taken enough? You are taken care of here. We have a thrift store the size of a bowling alley. You are fine. Stop asking them for stuff. You've taken too much. You've taken too much. How about this? Why don't you write them a letter and say, thank you for not giving up on me. You definitely should have. Thank you for the sleepless nights and all the prayers you've prayed for me. I'm working on becoming someone who gives and not takes, so don't send me anything. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. You've already taken so much from those who love you. Money, time, peace of mind. Now's the time to give back. You're giving them a whole lot by being here. You are. Because they know you're safe and they know you're healing. That comforts them a whole lot. Okay? Don't take. Give them more. Give them prayers. Hey, I've been praying for you. Here are some scriptures. You don't have to come to visit if it's too far of a drive. I'm good. We've got the rest of our lives to see each other. But we're like holding them at the stake. You better come see me. So we're taking. We're taking. Now they have to get off work. Now they have to put gas in the car. You're just still taking. What if you let them off the hook for a month or two and say, you don't have to come. You don't have to come. It's fine. I get to talk to you on the phone. It's fine. I've taken enough of your time. I'm safe. I'm taken care of. I love you. And God would know the sacrifice. He would know how hard that is for you. And He will reward you. It's so cool how the Lord works and how He sees the things you do.
I personally, I know that it's really hard for my family to come here, and they've only visited once since I got here, and that was right before Christmas, and I never pressured them to come here. I mentioned just maybe 3 months ago or so, I mentioned to my mom just when family visits were, just to make sure that she still remembered that when they were able to. And now this Sunday, I get to go and spend 24 hours with my family, and never had to pressure them. I gave it to the Lord, and even though I missed them this whole time, it's going to be so much more worth it and impactful to be able to get to spend that real time that I know that they chose and they wanted to come and be with me, and that the Lord heard my prayers.
That's so
So I just wanted to give like a little testimonial of it really does come around and He does hear you.
I think I just said in here, but hell, I don't know how we got here. I just pat myself in, I'm almost to about 9 years, so she's gonna kill me. That was a big care.
One of the reasons I came here was so my mom not have to work.
Yeah. It's good. Glad you came. What else? How else do we be transformed and not just survive? We guard our hearts. We talked about that yesterday. We guard our hearts. What are we guarding it from? I thought about this. We're guarding our hearts from gossip, negativity, rumors. When you're hearing a program, you're going to hear it. It's everywhere. It's in every program. Promise. It's in every program. And so what you tolerate in here, ladies, will eventually take root. That's how it works. What you're tolerating, what you're listening to, will take root. Whether you believe it or not, but what you're allowing in your ears is going down to the roots. It's there. You have to watch what's coming in here. Because the enemy will try to plant doubt in your mind. He'll try to plant doubt in your heart. And he does this through gossip and through complaining. That's a big one. Just complaining. Hear people complain sometimes. Through rumors. Make a decision now. I will not receive garbage. I will not receive it. When you hear somebody say something negative about whatever, say, I'm not going to entertain that. I'm not going to entertain that. Or you know what you could say? Let's focus on what God's doing. And I know what God's doing in my life. Because He met me on that floor in the war room. So let's focus on what God's doing. Problem is, we just want another Netflix show. Just give me some entertainment. Ladies, we got to rise above that. Like, be the bigger person. Like, stop being, you're obviously bored if you want to listen to gossip. You're bored. Get in your word. Do your schoolwork. It's all in there. The word's all in your schoolwork. But what you're tolerating in here is going to affect you in the long run. You might not think it affects you now, but give a hard day, that seed's going to pop up. And the enemy will make it to where it just connects so well with what you're struggling with. Maybe this is true, or maybe this is... So you make that decision. You guard your heart from that junk. Another thing is, this is a good one. Learn the difference between cult and covenant. Oh yeah, I got some good ones coming. Y'all are just going to love it.
Can you say what the definition of cult was again?
Yeah, I can.
I can't remember.
What's that called? And what?
Covenant. A system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. Figure or object. So the reason I did this was because we get called a cult a lot. So I want to talk about it. Okay? Truth versus talk. You're going to have to learn that in life. There's a difference. There's talk and there's truth. And so you may hear people say, especially on outreach or just from the outside or even from your family or whoever, this place is too strict, or they control you, or it's a cult. Something that new people say when they don't like it. Somebody might embarrass them. They got embarrassed, so now this place is a cult, right? It's just that weapon that we use. But let's stop right here. Let's just look at the truth. That's really what I want to do with this. I want to just look at the truth about it. When people don't understand discipline and order, especially in a world full of like chaos, they call it names. When people don't understand discipline and order, they call it names because they don't understand it. So let's break it down together. Let's really look at it. A cult forces you. That's what a cult does. It forces you. We teach you to choose. There's a difference.
Choose to take something from family, don't know. It's choosing. It'll be expected.
A cult forces you to do something, but we teach you to choose. Choose for yourself. Like in a cult, you're trapped. You can't get out, okay? Like be careful what you're calling this because it's not accurate. Like in a cult, you can't leave. You're told, like, you're threatened. You cannot leave. And you're not a prisoner. The door's there. Like you can leave. You can get fresh air. Like you're not locked in. You can leave at any time. You stay because you're desperate for change. You're choosing to be here. And it says a lot about who you are. And I love that. I love that we're not a lockdown facility because you choose to be here. This is something that you are making the decision to be here. You could walk out anytime and you're choosing to stay rooted. And that says a lot about you. Isn't that cool? We teach obedience. We teach obedience. We don't demand it. We teach it. We allow you space. That's why you have a point sheet. We allow you space to choose obedience. You can choose a 0. Can you not? Or you can choose 33.3, right? You have the choice. Make your choice. Has anybody ever got like beaten over a 0? Okay. Like slapped here?
No, in my
No, I'm talking about physically.
in my
I'm
mind.
talking about physically. No. You might need to take her out if she gets. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments, is what the scripture says. Ladies, pay attention. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments. That's what Jesus said. Did you not? And so we train you to obey because obedience brings you blessing. Obedience brings you growth. Not because we want to control you. Another thing is a cult cuts you off from your family. Totally. We help you rebuild relationships. And so cults is no contact with family, no outside influence, total separation. We actually encourage family restoration here at the right time and in a healthy way. I just told Miss Rachel the other day, hey, make sure at 10 months if we've got any like relationships with the family that we get them in counseling. Get that mama here because her and her daughter, they got issues. We got to get them worked through this thing. A cult says, no, keep them out. Gone. You get home passes to visit your family. She just said it. She's going to go on one. You have weekly contact. Everybody can get a weekly visit at Redemption House. Phone calls. Big visits every month. A lot of students see their families more consistently here than they did in their addiction. My goodness. You didn't see your family near as much when you were in addiction than you are here. Why do we have structured communication? Because healthy relationships require healthy boundaries. Some people, Miss Michaela, have to have boundaries in their relationships with their families. Is it to control you? It's to protect you. It is to protect you. And so we help restore, not remove. That's the goal. We're here to restore your relationships, not remove them. A cult worships leaders. We honor our leaders and worship Jesus. A cult worships the leader only. We honor our leaders, like the Bible says to, and we worship Jesus. He's who we worship. Our leaders are shepherds. We shepherd you. We point you to Jesus. We don't point to ourselves. We point to Jesus. He has the final word. And so we ask you to honor leadership, not idolize it. You're not to idolize leadership. You're to honor it. A cult keeps you weak. We build you strong. We build you strong. We teach you how to work and live. You have to have muscles to work, not physical muscles. I'm talking about wake up, go to work, grind, come home, get the kids in bed, make breakfast, get them to school, go to work, grind, come home. We have to teach you that. You're not going to sit on a couch and get massages by some weird therapist in a program. You've got to learn life skills. You've got to learn life skills. This is recovery. You going to work and it's hilarious. You going to work and like killing it, that's real life. Sorry. Newsflash, you got to work. The Bible says if a man don't work, he don't eat. Guess where God put man? Says he made him. In the garden. To what? To work. Stop thinking that it's like just, oh my gosh, this program works is so hard. It's real life. If you've been sitting in jail for a few years, some people would rather just go to jail to sit around. Seriously, I've seen it. I've seen people who literally just want to go to jail because they get to sit all day. And I'm just thinking, my goodness, you're not going to make it out there. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty shall come upon you like a thief in the night. You will be poor. That's what Proverbs says. Just a little sleep, just a little slumber. And poverty, you're going to be right up in it. But, a cult is going to keep you weak. That's what they want to do. They want to keep you weak. They don't want to teach you job skills. They don't want you to be independent and have these muscles that I'm talking about. We build you strong. Like, the goal is to get you to a place where you're independent under the Lord. A cult is to get you totally dependent. There's a difference. Our mission is to equip you to stand strong as a mother. Being a mom is not easy. It is not easy. Our goal is to help you stand strong in the power of the Holy Spirit. Equipped, a praying mother, a praying grandmother, insert whatever applies to you there. We help you discover your purpose in life. And we give you job skills and emotional tools and spiritual confidence and walk in these gifts and these anointings and learn how to pray and speak life over yourself. And hello? You're getting counseling. A cult feeds on fear. We lead in love. You realize that you'll leave here more independent and more mature and more stable than you've ever been? It's true. It's true. You remember living life having to depend on somebody else? You're trapped. You're being equipped here to make it out there and actually thrive in life. Like, you mentally are going to be able to handle it because you're being so just built mentally, emotionally. The wars and the battles you're going through now is making you a warrior, where you're actually going to be able to handle life. Because a lot of us are here because we couldn't handle it. We just couldn't handle life, couldn't handle pressure, couldn't handle bills. I mean, one little deadline for me, I was just like, nope, got to go get high. It's just over. I can't do it. And it's not even, the deadline's not even here yet. But just because it's coming, I'm out. Here you have deadlines. Why do you think it's a contract every month? Because you got to learn to get it in on time. Turn it in by this date. Turn it in by this date. Bills are due at a date. There's late fees. You've got to learn to meet a deadline. Build that muscle. A cult feeds on fear, but we lead in love. We correct, yes. We discipline, yes. But everything we do is rooted in love. We want you to transform. We want you to be changed, not just to get through the program. And so the structure here exists not to punish you, but to protect you and to develop you. And so don't let the voices of people who've never walked this path determine how you see your healing. Don't you dare let them determine. They've not walked this path. They've not. A lot of people who maybe say these things, they don't know. Either one, they came and they didn't walk the path to begin with, and they're out. Or two, they've never even been here. Never even set foot in here. And so, you're not in a cult, you're in a calling. Squash it. Period. You're not being controlled, you're being cultivated. This isn't a prison, it's a greenhouse. It's a greenhouse. Scripture says every branch that does not bear fruit, he prunes it. He cuts it off. Why? Scripture says so that it may bear more fruit. If you are getting cut or shaped in any way or harmed, it's to bear more fruit. That's why a branch, that's why he does that. My potted plant in there, and we're talking about this, had a brown spot on it. I called my daddy, he's got a green thumb. It's crazy, but he loves all of that stuff. I said, I don't know what to do. I'm killing this plant. It stresses me out. I like fake plants. And he said, just get some scissors and cut that off. And I'm like, cut its leaf? And he's like, yes, cut its leaf. Cut it off. Cut it off, and like 2 days later, it's beautiful. It's thriving. It's growing. But to the naked eye, you're like, don't. Ouch. Don't harm me. Like if you're the plant and he's pruning you. But it's to grow you. It's so beautiful. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. Would everybody agree that the Spirit of the Lord is here? There's freedom here. Not weird cult stuff. At the end of the day, in order to make it through this program totally transformed, you've got to learn to fear God and not man. Because fear of man will trap you, but fear of God is actually going to anchor you. And so some women leave because they care too much about what their family thinks. Or they care too much about like what people think. But God didn't call you to please people. He called you to be made new. And so write down what you think others expect of you and then wad it up and throw it away. Seriously. Because what you'll do then, you replace it with what God expects. That's what gets written down. What people expect, but what God expects. That's what we want you to do. You go off of what God expects, not what man expects. And everything comes back to, you're doing it. You're doing it. And the enemy wants you to question it. And so, the fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. That's Proverbs 29:25. God expects obedience. God expects humility. God expects surrender. Another way that you can be transformed is focus on the adventure of the program, not the time. It's another thing I see is like that counting down. Focus on the adventure of it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And then it's over. You have 1 year. It's going to be the best year of your life. Right? I mean, there's nothing like it. Time only feels long when your eyes are on the clock instead of Jesus. Take your eyes off that clock. Like, this isn't a sentence. It's not. It's a season of preparation for the rest of your life. And if you don't get it now, and I always say it's boot camp. Boot camp prepares you for the war. A lot of you feel this is the war. This is it, and then I get to go breathe again. This is preparing you for real stuff. You ain't seen nothing yet. You got to get what you can get now, because you're going to need all of it out there. You're going to need every bit of it. Don't cut corners. Don't rob yourself of important growth. Get all in. Do not rob yourself of this. Get everything you can get out of it. Every last bit. Journal the new things that you're discovering about yourself every week. Or that you're discovering about God. Both. New things you're discovering about you and God. Every week. Like, God is healing me from this. Or I'm learning that I can... Or I never thought that I could forgive. Isaiah 43:19, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Can you not see the new thing He's doing in you? And lastly, honor produces humility. Honor and humility, again, we pair them together because you cannot rebel against God and His God-placed authority and expect to grow. It's hard to gossip about a leader if you're praying for them. It's real hard. Try it. It's not going to work. It's hard to dishonor someone that you're thanking God for. And so choose one leader, and I want you to pray for them this week by name. I want you to pray for them this week by name. Write a short note of encouragement to them. Can we do that? I want us to honor them. Also, next on your to-do list, I want you to write a letter to your family. And I want you to give. Meaning, do not ask a thing, do not take a thing. Give. Give gratitude. Give thankfulness. Apologize. Send them a scripture.
When I was talking to my mom about coming here, I said, Mom, it's a year off my life. And she said, no, that's a year on your life.
Ooh, that's good.
It's, what did you say, like, for the later part?
So I want you to pick one leader, and I want you to pray for them this week by name. You can even write a little encouraging note to them. I will allow it for this class. One note. We don't pass notes, but we're going to do it for this particular assignment. And encouraging, just some encouragement to them. Just pick one, pray for them, encourage. You don't have to do the note, just pray for them. Either way. And I want you to write that letter to your family, and I don't want you to ask for a thing. Just let the Lord lead you in it. I hope that you've really gotten a lot from this class and that you can...
So, you talk about, like, your family, I know, that was the thing for me. I have a good family, but, I had to stop asking, and it really has shown me in the, past few months how much, my family, almost like it was a thing for them to expect from me to want something. And I was like, no, I'm good. And my aunt's like, well, and I was like, I'm trying not to ask y'all for stuff. That's part of this program is my leaders have told me. And she's like, well, you're not asking, I'm asking you, what do you want? And I was like, that's not how it works. And it gets them in that mindset of that they've got to do for you, or they've got to give you something in order to be part of your heart, I guess, or to be loved almost.
They become addicted to your addiction.
Yeah.
It's the saddest thing. And so you want to actually help them break free from that too. because they're addicted to you needing them. And I've watched actually parents nurse their recovered loved one back to addiction because they could feel needed again. It is the creepiest, weirdest thing. But it's like, you don't need me anymore. They're panicking. So it's like they're driving them to addiction and they don't even realize it.
It's kind of like they don't realize they're Stockholming, you know?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what it's like?
Sounds like Munchausen by proxy.
Right, yeah.
Stockholm, sorry, Munchausen's what
Okay.
I said.
Yeah. It's something that, it's just because that's all they've known, and that you can't blame them for it. I mean, you've always needed them because you've always been in trouble or whatever. And when they don't know how to change, you're getting healing. You're learning. They're not. That's why we encourage counseling. Let's get them in with Miss Rachel and you. Let's work through that. Explain how you're a new creation. You're independent now. How do we kind of leave and cleave, pull away, but also stay connected? It's a new dynamic. And it comes with time, too. It comes with time. Any questions?
I just want to say, like, another thing that was, I guess God showed me is, when you're talking about the roots and stuff, like, plants, I'm not good with plants, but, like, I know they can become, like, root bound, right? Which means they try to root off themselves, which is, I guess, pride for me. It's what I was thinking of, like, you know, you try to find yourself in yourself, and you keep trying to find that until you die, you just kill yourself out.
Wow.
So, that's what I was thinking about earlier. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that is so true.
Root down on yourself.
Root to yourself. Wow. My, that's a good one. Anybody else? Okay. Gonna get into some prayer.
May I use the restroom? I can't concentrate.
You sure can. Yeah, if you need to go, you can use the restroom.
I can't help but think, like, I remember a time when I prayed for a leader, but it wasn't heartfelt prayer. You know, it was prayer of just like, golly, just get this over with so I don't have to deal with it.
Yep.
You change your prayer and it changes you.
It really does.
Yeah, it starts that transformation in you.
I stand before you now. The greatness